Hello friends, welcome to Code Crush Coding. In this video we are going to learn about how to reverse a list. Means once we entered the list, we want the functionality to reverse the elements in the list. So what we are expecting in this video is, let's say we have the entered list in the form of these elements 1 2 3 4 5. So these are the original elements in the list, and what we should get as the output, we should get the reverse list. So the last element present here was 5, so it will be the start element in the second list. Means all the elements are reversed. Here you can see 5 4 3 2 1. So this program we need to do in this video. So let's start. I have this list reverse.python file. So let's first create a list here. Let's say name of variable is list, and here I entered the values 1 2 3 4 5. Now before applying the logic of reverse list, let's understand the slicing concept of list. So here I have the entered list. Now what I will do, I will have the another variable called mylist, which will also be the list, and it should have the elements of list. Now what this statement will do, whatever values we have entered in this list, we are assigning those values to the mylist. If I try to print list, and then I will print mylist. So let's save this and run now. See, let me reduce the size here. So here you can see the list is also having these values 1 2 3 4 5, and mylist is also having 1 2 3 4 5, because we have directly assigned the values of list to mylist. Now what I will do, instead of passing all the value, let's say I want some of the values of the list. Now you know that the index position of list start from 0, means this position, this element is present at 0th position, then this is at the 1, this is second, this is third, this is fourth index position. Now I want to have the elements starting from 0 till, let's say, till here 2. So this is the 0th position, this is the first element, so I need to pass here 2. From 0 I want till 1, because when I pass here 2, it will include till 1, means whatever value we will pass here, it will consider the values, this value minus 1. If I say here 3, then it will take the values till 2 position, means 0 1 and 2. So in this case 1 2 3 will be assigned to my list. So let me run this code. See, 1 2 and 3 are assigned to my list because we are starting from 0. So 1, then 2, then 3. And what if I pass here step value? Step value means, like, this is the starting position, this is the ending position, and step value means it will increment. Like, as you can see here, it starts from 0, then increment by 1, then increment by 1, like 0 position, then first position, then second position. But if I say here 2, so it will increase by 2 now, means it will first consider the 0 position, which is the value 1, then it will increment the value by 2, means 0, then directly second position, it will avoid the first position value. So let me run this code and run now. So here you can see we are having the values 1 and 3. Now what I will do, I will remove these values here from start and end. So what it will consider, it will by default consider the start as 0, and end will be considered as the last element present in the list, and we will increment this index position by 2 now. So if I run this code, so here you can see it is considering the 0th position first, 0, then it is incrementing by 2, so it will take this value 3, again it will increment by 2, this will consider 5 value. If I say here 3, then it will start from 0th position 1, and then will directly increment by 3, like the index position will be incremented by 3, then it will print 4, then we will have only two values here, 1 and 4. So if I run this, see we are getting here 1 and 4. And what if I say here minus 1, here minus 1? So as you know, the indexing starts from 0 for the first element, but the last element index, if you start from the right side, then it will have the index position -1, then -2, -3, and so on. And if you increment this step value by -1, then it will consider the start position from the right side. It means the start position will be the 5 and end position will be the first element in the list, and it will decrement by 1. So it will consider 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, and then 1. So if I run this, so here you can see, so here you can observe that we are getting the reverse list here. Whatever values we pass here, we are getting the reverse of that. So what was the logic for getting the reverse? This particular statement, like we will start from the right side, end to the first position, and then we will decrement the value by -1. Then it will start from 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. If I decrement it by 2, then you can notice the difference, like it will start from 5, then it will directly print 3 and then 1. Let me run this. So here you can notice the difference, 5, 3, 1. But we want the reverse list, so we will stick with the logic of -1. So here you can see that. You can also make the enhancement in this code by accepting these values from the user, like the list, and then reversing the list. So that can also be done. So let me show you that also. So we will have the empty list here. Once we have the empty list, we will accept the size from the user, size, which will be of type int, and here we will have the input, let's say enter size of list. Then the user will enter the size of list, and for that size we need to iterate the for loop. So for I in range, here you can say size, and here we will append the values in the list. So list dot append, and here will pass the message input, enter element, enter element. So once we get the element here, then we will print this message here, Control X, we will print it here. And once we get the list, then we will apply the logic of reverse list here, and then we will print that reverse list. Let's run this code to check if it is working correctly. So enter size of list, let's say 4, enter element 4, 3, 2, 1. See, we have entered the element as 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are getting the reverse list 1, 2, 3, 4. Here also you can apply the for loop to access the element in the my list. So how you can do that? So here you need to say this as an empty list, my list will be empty, and here you will apply the for loop. So for I in range, now inside the range you need to apply the similar logic that you were applying in the directly when you are assigning the value. So now the range will start from the last position here. So here last position, what will be the last position index number? It will be whatever size the user has entered, size -1, right? Because the indexing starts from 0. And now you need to print all these values. So position of this value is 0. So you need to have here -1 because you want the value still 0 position. So you will have here -1 and the step value as -1 because you will start from the last value and you want each element to be get printed. That's why you are saying your step value as -1. So once you get these values, you need to append that into now my list. So my list dot append, my list dot append, and here you need to append list. So this was our list and list of I. So whatever value of I is here, so the first time it will be size -1, which will be the last element. So you will have first value as the last element from the original list, and increment will, for each iteration you will get the last values from that particular list. So let's see whether our code is working fine or not. So enter size of list, let's say 5, enter element. So let's enter here 9, 8, 7, 565. So see, we have entered 98765 and we are getting a 56789. So this logic is also working correctly. So the main thing here we have applied is passing the values inside the range function and applying those three parameters correctly. So to summarize more on this, what we have done here, whatever size user has entered, the last position index number will be size -1. So the iteration will start from this element 5. So that's why for the first time list of I we are getting a 5. Then we are decrementing it by -1. So next time we will get these values, next time these values, and the stop position is -1, means till 0 we are able to print. So the 0th value will be in the last position in the reverse list. So that's it in this video. We will cover another topics in next video. Thank you for watching.